Before you became a real estate investor, what was your career?
As a geologist in the oil and gas industry, I made maps of the subsurface of the earth to find oil and gas, and in some cases to find fresh water.
So throughout all those years doing the oil and gas, how many deals passed through your hand that you could have had turned into real estate as well?
I would say thousands if my employer allowed me to. That's part of the challenge when you're working in a W-2 job. You're restricted in some ways. Plus, I had to work oftentimes around the clock. When oil wells are drilling, you have to sleep with a phone by your head when we had cell phones.
That's why I like to be my own boss, and I like to choose when do I want to go out. And being a real estate investor gives me exactly that freedom. I can still make money, I can still be myself, and I don't have to have anyone telling me when and where to go. So I can choose how much do I want to push myself.
I agree with you. And I was a shy young man growing up. I probably didn't feel comfortable talking with people until I was in my 30s or 40s. That's why it was easier to be a geologist and deal with rocks. But when you learn that real estate is a team sport,
Yeah.
most any job is, I slowly learned how to relate to people and to work with them.
And that takes time, and there's no doubt about it. So what is your parents' background?
Well, my mother was a hairdresser. She worked in a coiffure, a fancy name for a haircut place. My dad was in the Army. He was a soldier. He fought in World War II in Europe, and he also be reactivated for the Korean War. So he was eventually went back to college to get a degree, and he tried his hand in real estate. And that's where I first learned about real estate, through my dad.
So when did you told your parents, did you have the opportunity to tell them, hey, I'm going to become a real estate investor? How was their reaction? How was the decision?
Well, I was able to tell my mom because she was still alive. My dad passed away before I started in earnest in the real estate business. I think if he were able to hear us now, he would be very pleased that some of the things that he suggested I do in my life, that I'm actually doing them.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but again, it's, and our parents tell us, how can we get there faster? I just wish we would have listened to it. And so I'm sure your dad is very proud of you and seeing your success, seeing your journey as a father, as a real estate investor. And what are the things that you are growing up that you see that you have learned from your dad that you put in action today?
Never give up. Continue to look for a passion, work hard, always tell the truth, and be a person of your word.